Everyone, these are the question and answers of chapter 1 Nutrition Food Supplying System of 10th class Biological Science. So first is the differences between the autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition. It means that the organism prepares its own food and does not depend on any other organisms. So auto means self. So it prepares its own food. Heterotroph. It means that the organism does not prepare its own food and is dependent on the other organisms for food. Second point is food is prepared from carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. Whereas in heterotrophs, food can't be prepared from carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. And who can prepare their own food? That is, green plants and certain bacteria have autotrophic mode of nutrition. Whereas heterotrophic nutrition is in all the animals, fungi, most bacteria have heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, these are the differences between autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Second one, differences between ingestion and digestion. Ingestion is taking in food through mouth is called ingestion, and digestion is breaking up of complex molecules of food into simple and small molecule is called digestion. So chlorophyll and chloroplast. In chloroplast only chlorophyll is present. So what is the difference? This is the green pigment. This chloroplast is an organelle containing chlorophyll present in chloroplast. Chlorophyll is present in chloroplast. Chloroplast present in palisaded tissue and of leaves. The chlorophyll will trap solar energy. Chloroplast is responsible for photosynthesis. Now the differences between light reaction and dark reaction. What is light reaction? It occurs in grana of chloroplast. Whereas in dark reaction, it occurs in the stroma of chloroplast. Second point, it occurs in presence of light because it dependent on, it is a light reaction, so it depends on light. It is a dark reaction, so it is not dependent on light. A light reaction, the end products are NADPH2 and ATP and oxygen. Whereas in dark reaction, end product is glucose. In light reaction, photosynthesis, photolysis occur, that is breakage of water molecule into hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion, H plus and OH minus. Whereas in dark reaction, carbon fixation occurs, that is fixation of carbon to form a glucose occurs in dark reaction. In light reaction, this is a oxidative process, whereas dark reaction is a reduction reaction. Let's see some points of photosynthesis. Okay, we have a which scientist has done what. Okay, photosynthesis is the basic energy source of living organisms. To discharge a leaf, potted plant has to be kept in dark room for 24 hours so that it can remove the starch from the leaf and boil it in methylated spirit over water bath till it becomes pale white due to removal of chlorophyll. If we add iodine solution to the dechlorified leaf, it turns to blue-black color, indicating the presence of starch. There are 4 essential factors for photosynthesis, that is with carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll and sunlight. In 1648, when Helmont of Belgium found that water was essential for the increase of plant mass. In 1648, when Helmont of Belgium discovered that the water is needed for what? For increasing the mass of the plant. In 1770, Joseph Priestley revealed the essential role of air in the growth of plants. What he revealed? That air is also needed for the growth of the plant. Not only plant is responsible for the plant mass. He is telling the plant mass and he is telling the growth of the plant. So don't get confused. Okay. Now Priestley also discovered what? Oxygen. Because he discovered that air is needed. So he discovered oxygen in 1774. But the name oxygen was coined by the Lavoisier in the year 1775. Priestley experimentally proved that plants restored the air whatever breathing animals and burning candles remove. Okay, experimentally by using a bell jar and lighting up the candle and again closing it. Then he has put a rat into it and then again close it with a bell jar, and after putting a potted plant or a mint plant, pudina plant inside the bell jar, he observed that both the candle also lighted and it has not also exhausted and animal also lived. Whereas when plant was not there, rat has died and the lighted candle also exhausted. In 1779, Jan Ingenhousz, a Dutch, experimentally proved that in bright sunlight, gas bubbles were formed around the hydrilla plant and it was oxygen. So, oxygen name was given by Lavoisier and discovered by Priestley, and who experimentally said that yes, plant releases the oxygen, it is oxygen only. Jan Ingenhousz, a Dutch, okay, with the help of an experiment with a hydrilla plant, a water plant, aquatic plant it is. In 1883, Julius Wensach found that chlorophyll is present in the chloroplast. Who? Julius, in 1883. In 1954, Daniel I. Aronon extracted chloroplast. So, extracting a chloroplast is a huge success, I think. I must say, it is a huge success. By that only, we have understood what are the process, light reaction, dark reaction, everything is taking place in the chloroplast, which could carry the photosynthesis. Okay, let's see. This is the nutrition, how plant is getting nutrition from soil. These aromatic is like water and from soil it is getting minerals, and it is utilizing the sun energy and producing, and the leaves are utilizing, these green leaves are there in this chloroplast is present, which is performing the photosynthesis and oxygen is releasing out. Okay, let's see. Nutrition is of two types, autotrophic and heterotrophic. In autotrophic nutrition, organism makes their own food from simple inorganic material like carbon dioxide and water, using light as source of energy. Heterotrophic nutrition involves intake of complex materials prepared by other organisms. Like complex molecules means plants, animals, all are the complex material. Photosynthesis is a process by which green plants containing chlorophyll. Food substances, what food substances? Glucose and starch. From what? By utilizing carbon dioxide and water, which are simple inorganic material. Okay, and by utilizing the energy, from where they are getting the energy? From the light, and releasing what? Oxygen. Where it is releasing the oxygen? Into the atmosphere, by which we are able to breathe in. C.B. Van Neel, 1931, proposed and formulated an equation for photosynthesis. So keep his name in your mind, C.B. Van Neel. A simple, this is the equation. The light reaction of occur in grana and dark reaction of photosynthesis occur in stroma. Always remember, light reaction is occurring in grana, whereas dark reaction occurring in stroma of chloroplast. We know you should know the organelles present in the chloroplast is the grana, in which the light reaction is taking place, whereas in this fluid the dark reaction is taking place in stroma. Okay, hope you got it. Now let's see. The end product of light reaction are oxygen, ATP and NADPH2, and glucose is the end product of dark reaction. Important events occurring in chloroplast. In chloroplast, what are the important events occurring? Conversion of light energy to chemical energy. This is we called as chemical energy. Okay. Splitting of water molecules. Reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Here, glucose is formed in the dark reaction. And splitting of water molecules by the chlorophyll. The form of nutrition differs depending on the availability and type of food as well as how it is obtained by the organism. Some organisms break down the food material outside the body and then absorb it, like bread mold, mushrooms, yeast, etc. Some organisms take down the whole material and break it down inside their bodies. Example, mammals, like we. Some other organisms derive nutrition from plants or animals without killing them. They won't kill, but they utilize their food. That is, what are the examples? Cuscuta plant, lice, leeches, and tapeworms. This is the, I have written here 26th question is there in your textbook. The question is not written here. This is the answer of 26th. Okay. 26th question. In single-celled organisms like amoeba, the food may be taken in by the entire surface, but as the complexity of the organism increases, like that is a single-cell organism, that's why it is taking a food from wherever it wants. It doesn't have a mouth or teeth, esophagus, stomach, anything. So, whereas the complexity of the organisms, as the multicellular organisms or the higher organism or the mammals or complex organisms differ parts because specialized to perform different functions. The process of taking food inside the body is called ingestion. The process of breaking complex substances into simple substances so that they can be used by the body with the help of enzyme called digestion. As the process taking place in our stomachs by the salivary glands, stomach, intestine, liver, pancreas. So that is called as digestion. Saliva secreted by 3 pair of salivary glands contains an enzyme called amylase, ptyalin, which help in the breakdown of complex carbohydrates to simple ones. What are the salivary glands? There are 3 types of salivary glands. There are sublingual, submandibular, and pituitary glands, which produces an enzyme called amylase and which help in the breaking down of carbohydrates. The alimentary canal is basically a long tube that extends from mouth to the anus. The part mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. The digestive system includes the alimentary canal and several associated organs. The function of system are as follows. Ingestion, taking of food into the body. Digestion, breaking up of complex food substances into simple substances so that they can be used by the body, which will be carried out by the specific enzymes. Absorption, the passage of directed food through the walls of alimentary canal into the circulatory system. Defecation, the passage of undigested material from the body through the way of anus. Food mixed with saliva passes through the esophagus by the wave-like movement called peristaltic movement to the stomach. In the stomach, food gets churned with gastric juice and HCl. Chyme is soft slimy substance in which some proteins and carbohydrates have already broken down. The sphincter in the stomach allows for only a small quantity of food to pass into the small intestine at a time. The small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal, where complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats takes place. Small intestine receives bile juices from the liver and pancreatic juices from pancreas. Okay, this is the whole process of digestive system of a human alimentary canal. What are the process? We call them ingestion, digestion, absorption, and defecation, and how the food is passing from mouth to the anus, and where bile juice emulsifies the fats, whereas trypsin and lipase of pancreatic juice digest proteins, fats respectively. Finger-like projection formed from the walls of intestine are known as villi. They absorb the product of digestion and form from the villi into the blood vessels and lymph vessels. The passage of undigested material from the body through anus is called defecation. Ingestion is difficulty in digesting food. It is caused by stomach and duodenal ulcers. Our diet should be balanced one, which contains proper amount of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, salts and vitamins. Eating of food that does not have one or more than one nutrient is required in required amount is known as malnutrition. Malnutrition is of three types: calorie malnutrition, protein malnutrition and protein calorie malnutrition.